Right, so there is a lot of things to talk about and lots of things being discussed by the community, but this is still going to be a shorter video because there are some topics that people are complaining about that I don't want to open up just yet. Anyways. Hello YouTubers, this is noobifier. I started this playlist and series called Community Concerns because I have more time to research. They're put into a playlist. You can consider bookmarking it if you want and check in every once in a while to get caught up to date. And if you think it's fun, please do me a favor and share it with a friend or orgmate. Today is the 11th of October. I try to do them on Tuesdays, choosing topics that are well presented and have a good banter back and forth. We begin with the threads. Erwin M. Fletcher is begging CIG to not wait 2 or more months before explaining the skill system in greater detail that we found out from Chris on the 8th of October. They understand what this news is going to do to the community and what it will continue to do to the community if we're left to our own imagination and our own theory crafting. This is a good thing to consider in general. Humans are odd, and in the absence of information, we tend to think about how things might work together, and that might lead to the community drama that we're looking at. My personal thoughts on this matter might be upsetting for some of you, but hear me out. I've played a ton of games where you get better as you go. Cyberpunk, Borderlands, The Division, Fallout, all of these have some kind of progressive buff. The reason I was initially upset to hear Chris talk about skills is that he said that we wouldn't have them in game. That's always been part of the goal since day one. If I was good at knifing by getting my timing and position perfect, then I would have the advantage. But now it sounds like if I go knife 1,000 people, my character will just be better at knifing. I'll get a little buff. I have an advantage over another player that hasn't bothered to do that, and we have this situation where a person who plays often becomes potentially more OP. Is that really a problem? No. I mean, we already have a universe where my fleet is nothing more than an AMD Mustang and an MSR, and others are starting out with billion-dollar fleets for whatever reason. I might be playing at 4K on a 3080 Ti, and you might be playing 1080p on a laptop. Am I at an advantage? Fuck, you bet I am. My controllers, my hardware, my fleet, and now my skills. Who cares? And we haven't even seen the system work out yet, so why is everyone freaking out? The OP made some truly valid points. It is time for a deep dive Q&A on the current plan with examples. 66 replies and only 2 cards from this OP. CCIG, make this happen. It's what the community wants. Please release a design doc on how you see this thing working. The sooner, the better. Comment in the comments with your comments. What are your personal thoughts on this revelation that goes against 10 years of what we've known? Next. On the theme of confirming that point, Bucky Tin is worried that the community will go off on some tangent with a lack of information, so they posted up a list of what was actually said by Chris and Richard. They hope to calm people down, but that is simply not possible on Spectrum. It's up on the screen for you right now. There will be 2 categories of skill, physical attributes and techniques. In physical attributes, they spoke about, but were not limited to, strength, agility, endurance, and fitness. In techniques, they spoke about, but are not limited to, takedowns and traversals. And I will add that Richard also said that mag changes might become quicker and aim down sight or ADS time would be improved. The way you play, the game levels up skill. Lifting heavy objects, wearing heavy armor increases strength. Agility will increase the speed of weapon swapping. Endurance will determine how resilient you are. Fitness will give higher stamina. You can swim longer. You can hold your breath longer. And in a way, this kind of makes sense in real life. Like if you're a cargo hauler and you're not hitting the gym all the time, then you might not be very strong, right? And the OP ended by saying that the skills are going to be tracked by the Mobiglass in a dedicated fitness app, which is kind of weird. But anyways, 153 replies, 4 arm flexes, 3 gold medals, and C, the majorities of the replies were positive and many people posting in Spectrum don't seem to mind these changes. What are your thoughts? What other sorts of skills and techniques might you like to see added to the list? Or do you prefer the idea of the fewer the better? Would you like these skills to be invisible to your player, or do you want to see a full numerical list of exactly what you can do and how well you can do it? Next, these next 2 ones are funny, and I'm going to be cutting it super short this week because I have better things to do than lose my mind dodging trout on a virtual bar fight. StartGT posted a big fat thread with all kinds of supporting links and facts and videos confirming that Chris Roberts said no to RPG-like stats and leveling in 3 separate 10 for the chair episodes. And then in a separate thread, John Bradley made a similar thread and posted that yes, Chris did say over 7 years ago that we would have some kind of skill buff system. They also posted the links, the text, and the video to support. And no wonder why the effing community is confused, Chris. I'm going to summarize this and reinforce the first point. CIG equals design doc in the next 2 months. Like a Q&A, or it could be a full Inside Star Citizen talking about it, and then the doc in very high detail, mapping out the exact plan for the skills and techniques. And that's it. I'm not talking about master modes in this format because it's a waste of time, but I plan to do that shortly and I'm going to publish my thoughts on it soon. I really appreciate you taking the time to join me, and of course, I hope that you take the effort to comment or share. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. Fly safe and I'll see you in the verse.